Hi, my name's Angela Ambrosia, and this month we're looking at communication. So we're going to look at communication that's both non-verbal and verbal this month. And today's episode is called Communication with Your Soul. So there's two elements to that. If you're in a relationship, it's also about how do you connect with your partner's soul, and what is that relationship helping you to access by connecting to your partner at the soul level. The other part of communication with your soul is, of course, what we've begun to explore in the Soulmate series of videos that I've shared, which is about how do you actually hear your own soul when we have the crazy thoughts going or emotions dominating our life. It's very hard to hear the rhythm, pulse, or breath or feeling of the soul. However, if you've ever fallen in love, if you've ever had an experience of being closely bonded to anyone, a child, a lover, a parent, or a sibling or friend, you know when you have that soul connection and that communication with someone. You can sense it and you can feel deeply. So for example, if you just have that intuition to call someone, or if you might feel sad one day and then you find out that your loved one's feeling sad, that's the level of the soul. And of course that connects to our empathy abilities as well. But I'm talking about the sort of feelings that you might pick up one day where you just don't know anything that's happening to your loved one, but then later on you find out that they were having the very same experience that you were experiencing, and that's because you have at some level an interest in feeling each other's growth and feeling the levels of emotions with each other to a deeper level, so you can watch each other's journeys. Remember, soul's always about connection. They don't care about romance, they don't care about emotions, but they are deeply invested in connection, in building that connection so you can help each other grow. So this month with communication, we're going to look at how relationships often interrupt our ability to communicate with our loved one. And there's a purpose for that. When you're in a love relationship, it actually helps you to see at any time that you get deeply disturbed, what is it that your soul is trying to communicate to you. And now this may seem crazy, it may seem frustrating, and it's meant to be, because it's the only way that your soul's going to get your attention. That's why love relationships, whether they're an intimate one, a sexual one, a romantic one, or a parent-child relationship, that's why they're so intense, because you came here to help each other grow, and you came here to evolve your soul. So communication with your soul, with your partner, is actually a skill that you can enhance. Sometimes the first step is to actually experiencing the things that piss you off about your partner and block or seem to block your ability to connect with them. Because what's going on is that you're being challenged to actually face what is it that I'm triggered by here? What is it that I need to see? What is it that I need to pay attention to? And we would never do that unless we were deeply moved by someone or deeply upset. So grief is a very powerful emotion, and it seems crazy to lose a loved one, but it actually forces you to see those deeper aspects of yourself, and you can't run away from it. And you may spend most of your life running away from the deeper part, and that's fine. There's no need to be deep and connect to your soul. But grief is a point in life where you actually begin to face it and invest in it, and that's fine. For some of us, we need to wait for those big moments in life where we might lose someone or break up with someone to actually see stuff. You don't have to be connected to your soul all the time. However, if you want to have smoother relationships, or relationships that go to a level where you can actually begin to help the relationship grow, evolve into a beautiful or a almost flowing love type of place, developing communication with the soul of yourself and your partner actually helps the relationship to grow in ways that are beyond what our mind can do. And this is what I share a lot with my relationship and love education trainings and meditations and processes, is how to actually feel at that soul level, so your mind doesn't interfere and start judging or ripping things apart or trying to make things work. Whenever you're trying to make things work, that's a very mental or a process of going over what I did wrong and trying to fix. And this trying thing is actually what destroys a lot of love and relationship. It's actually trying to actually capture love rather than just experience love. And the soul is all about experience. The soul wants you to deeply experience life and pleasure and truly what it is to be here in this body and experience every aspect of it, the feelings, the physicality, the sexuality, the thought process of investigating something, curiosity and exploring something. And of course that spiritual aspect, which really wants connection. I mean, if we really isolate what the purpose of the spiritual part of us is in relationship, it's to connect, to grow. So of course there's always a connection purpose, and you may not know the purpose, and I'm not encouraging you to find it out. It does help sometimes, especially when you break up with someone, to understand what was the purpose of the connection. But when you are actually looking to grow in your communication skills, the most important thing is to start looking at the senses and looking at the feelings, looking at what feelings come up, for you to look at and ask, what am I experiencing here that moves me? What am I experiencing here that upsets me? What am I experiencing here that actually gives me a sense of my feelings, of whatever feelings are coming up in the moment? So we're going to, in developing the soul communication today, look at two parts. Firstly, just listening to that part of yourself that really does connect to the spiritual part or the soul part of yourself, and let it just breathe in the body. And I use the golden light in this meditation exercise, and that golden light is to connect you to the higher self. So it also encourages that higher brain function and higher emotional awareness. So emotions are very powerful to give you that sense of what the soul is communicating or feeling, or what it's carrying for you to learn about. And when emotions become overwhelmed, it actually starts to interfere with the quieter voice of the soul, or the feeling and knowing aspect of the soul. The soul doesn't think, it just knows, and it desires to experience so it can gain that connection or understanding of itself or the other person that it's supporting in the process of life, of growth, of love. So we're going to explore what that could feel like, and then we're going to play a game where we just connect to a soul, someone in your life, and ask to just simply give them that golden light energy. We're not going to do anything fancy, we're not going to say anything to them. If something comes into your heart or your mind during the process, I encourage you to just notice it, and I'll give you a guidance in the connection exercise to just notice it, and then you can later write down. At this stage, we just want to play with what it's like to experience your own inner guidance, and then also connect with another soul and feel what it is that you could begin to share. And we're going to use simply the golden light that I share with you today as a way of just sharing with that person. And I encourage you to pick someone that you have a good feeling about right now today. You can also do this soul connection exercise with people that you may have issues with. There's no reason to do everything that's perfect, but if you don't feel like connecting with them today, then don't do it. That's a very big key, when to connect and not to connect at the soul level. If you'd rather not sit next to the person, then it might not be the best time to connect with them at the soul level. However, what I do with relationships where you are having trouble with a partner, actually dealing with an argument or finding stubborn resistance to common patterns in you, it is very helpful to connect in a meditative exercise where you feel connected to yourself and then connect to your partner and just talk to them, share your heart. And I only recommend this if you really want to work on the relationship. If it's something that you want to close, then I have different processes for that as well. You can do lots of things to just simply explain to the person how to help you close that relationship and how to understand what is actually happening in the relationship if you're breaking up or if you're separating from the person. So there are different ways to work with the soul communication aspect, and the rest of the series of videos we're going to look at much more tangible aspects of communication, but also how to work with non-verbal communication and elements where you begin to connect through the body, the emotions, your creativity and your passion. So let's begin by just breathing and feeling into that center of the chest and the heart. Close the eyes. And as you breathe into that center, also feel the expanse of the shoulders and the widening of that front chest and opening up at the front point of the throat. So there's a small dip in the throat there between the collarbones. That dip in the throat there. And it's actually a very tender point. It's a point where you can open to the expansion of the top part of the heart energy. And if you feel the softness there, you can also invite in a different quality into the heart area. So it's almost like that point between the collarbones is like a well or a pocket that can be receptive and also opening to light or to other feelings that are coming in to the heart area. The heart, of course, is the master organ of the body. The heart chakra is not the physical heart, because if we felt everything in the physical heart, it would probably give up on us. So the physical heart has a lot of physical responsibility to run and operate your beautiful body. And so the heart chakra is the energy point in the center of the chest that actually receives a lot of information momentarily, even when you're sleeping, about how to feel what is going on around you and then process that on the inside through both your mental capacities, your brain and heart connection, and also your emotional and feeling capacities through the senses and your perceptions of feelings and emotion. So as you sense that point between the collarbones, you can also feel, as you breathe, the chest and heart area expanding and the shoulder points or edges of your shoulders just expanding and widening, opening up to the heart itself. Giving that space to the heart in the body, the physical body. And then in the center of the heart and chest area, feel the golden light. Feel it opening into that heart. And it also starts to bubble up into that throat area, the soft point between the collarbones. And then it expands into the neck and the face. So with the breath, you just play with that golden light, allowing it to expand in the whole chest. Allowing it to go into the back body and the chest, upper back. And as you're breathing, just allowing the golden light to expand into any parts of your body now that need that light. So as you experience the light, just notice any thoughts or feelings or sensations in the physical body. What's going on? Maybe you just have an image of that golden light. If there's nothing really much going on, that's fine. If there's lots going on, that's fine as well. There's no real problem when a lot is going on. It's just a lot going on. What you can do is just ask for any excess physical or emotional energy to be absorbed by the golden light. And with the breath, transform any of that excess physical or emotional energy into the golden light itself, energizing it. And with the breath, now go deeper into the heart center. Feel as if you're going into your physical body deeper. And at this point, simply ask to connect with your soul. Just by asking for that connection, the body and your consciousness will just show you what that looks and feels like for you. Don't worry if you have mind chatter or other things going on, they're just other things going on. And connect back to the golden light as a way to anchor or feel that soul aspect or spiritual part of yourself that is constant and with you at any time, all times. So to build the soul communication with yourself, you can just ask for a word that helps you connect to the soul. So ask for a word that helps you connect to the soul. The word could be a familiar word that you've heard before, or it could be a word you may not have heard before, or can't even quite work out what it is, or you may not have a word. Just by asking, what you do is starting to align the consciousness to provide you with that word or energy that you need to hear. So open that throughout the day. If you didn't find a word now, you may find the word later, or that if you did find the word, make note of it so you can write it down and just notice today if the word has a resonance for you or makes sense on some level. And now we're going to explore connecting with another person at the soul level. So think now of someone that you wish to connect with. Again, if you're not sure about the connection or doing it in this process, then don't do it. That's not the right person. Pick someone that you feel good about connecting with and wish to connect with right now. You can bring the image of their face. They don't need to be alive. It can be someone who's passed on. Bring the image of their face to mind. And again, ask to connect to their soul. Know that you're surrounded by that golden energy and light, which gives complete protection for anything that you may experience in this moment now. And as you connect to the person, you can simply say to them anything that you wish to say. There may be no words, you may wish to just share a feeling or a gesture, but make some connection or invitation to that person. If you have a request for the person, then make sure that they have clear instructions. Sometimes when you're working with your partner, we want them to magically know what to do. But the key in communication is to actually give very clear instruction as to what physical action or outcome you desire. So take a moment to either visualize the outcome or action you desire, or describe it to that person. Could be just one word again. Can be quite simple. And now ask if that person that you're connecting with has something to share with you or tell you now, either about your request or invitation, or about something else they wish to share with you now. Just ask, what would you like to share with me now? If you don't get a response, that's fine. You may just get a look in their eyes or a gesture, or you may get a sense that you're not quite connecting. Everything's fine. So once again, connect to that golden energy in the center of your chest and share this energy with the other person. Give your gratitude as you share this golden light with them from the heart. Breathe into that center of the chest. Feel the golden light within you. And as you exhale now, bring your awareness all the way from the top of your head down the body, grounding your energy into the feet. When you're ready, bring your awareness back to the physical room you're in, your body. Taking some breaths, opening your eyes and coming back. So take note of that word that you may have connected with, anything your person of interest had shared with you, and anything else that came to you. When we write down these connections or words, what happens is we start to actually build that communication with our soul. Without a constant practice of connecting to that level of ourselves, what happens is our thoughts and old habits, conditioning from childhood, and past relationships that may have been good or may have not been great starts to dominate ourselves. The more you actually communicate with your soul and begin to connect with your partner at that level, what happens is you get to be a little bit less frantic and a lot more wise or civilized about what choices to make. So you begin to respond with more consideration rather than react from some program that could be in your nervous system or in your emotions when things didn't go that great. And I'm Angela Ambrosia. I wish you a blessed week, and I enjoy journeying with your soul as well. So if you wish to do some coaching, please contact me at angela@loveandrelationshipcoach.com, and we can explore how to develop that bond with you in a beautiful and continuing way. Love and blessings.